We are almost ready to move to the final two apparatus of this World Challenge Cup. Here are the first four who will perform on women's floor exercise. We will begin with Lena Bikel in her third apparatus final here. And then we will see Nicole Sokolova again, as well as Dildora Aripova and Daria Yasinskaya of Kazakhstan, the veteran, who is 21. And at the same time, we will be watching the final on horizontal bar. On horizontal bar, starting us off will be Balázs Kiss of Hungary, the second strongest in the qualification. And once more, Demdindorj Eytusan of Mongolia. Our first look at a young and up-and-coming Uzbek performer, Alishar Boyarsov. And finally, Takumi Onoshima of Belgium, who we have already seen on the parallel bars today and on still rings yesterday. Here come the gymnasts who will contest this women's floor exercise final. First onto the floor will be Switzerland's Lena Bikel. She will be followed by Nicole Sokolova of Bulgaria. Also in this field, the fourth strongest competitor, keep your eye on Croatia's Anteja Šikić-Kaučić, who has been a World Challenge Cup gold medalist before. The top 8 from qualification on floor exercise. Back to perform in the final, Lena Bikel of Switzerland, Nicole Sokolova of Bulgaria, Dildora Aripova of Uzbekistan, there's Daria Yasinskaya of Kazakhstan, Livia Gunnarsdottir of Iceland, Mila Prpic of Croatia, there is Anteja Šikić-Kaučić of Croatia, and finally Soliha Tursunbayeva of Uzbekistan. Leading off on horizontal bar, Balázs Kiss of Hungary, and then Demdindorj Eytusan, Alishar Boyarsov, Takumi Onoshima, Ahmad Salama of Jordan, Dias Toyshibek of Kazakhstan, Florian Olmans of Belgium, and our vault champion Daniel Trifonov will be the 8th and last to go. Warm-up time for the first 4 on floor exercise. Full schedule today for Lena Bikel and Dildora Aripova in this final, with the addition of Daria Yasinskaya of Kazakhstan. That's her tumbling there. And performing second, Nicole Sokolova of Bulgaria. A real quick turnaround for the first 3 performers. They have almost literally just come off of the balance beam competition. And it is a chance in this final men's event to take a look back at some of the gymnasts who have made a real impact on the apparatus finals here in Tashkent. Another medal opportunity for Demdindorj Eytusan of Mongolia, who was bronze on floor exercise the other day. There is Demdindorj. Daria Yasinskaya is somebody who has a real affinity for front tumbling. As we'll see from her first pass, I believe she's planning to do a front handspring straight into double front. We should keep our eye as well on Dildora Aripova. She won floor exercise gold at the Varna World Challenge Cup several years ago. Just completing his warm-up with a Kacha Vertu, Takumi Onoshima. Once more, here is the lineup in the first half of the horizontal bar final. It looks like Balázs Kiss is getting some assistance from Zala Zambori in preparing the high bar. And in the second half of the order, Ahmad Salama of Jordan, Dias Toishibek, who we already saw on parallel bars today, and pommel horse yesterday, where he won the bronze medal, followed by the newcomer 18-year-old Florian Olmanst of Belgium, and then Daniel Trifonov.
Now we are ready to start our horizontal bar final games. Let's welcome Balázs Kiss, Hungary.
Leading off on horizontal bar, Balázs Kiss of Hungary, a man who helped the Hungarian team win bronze at the European Championships in 2020. He's a real utility player of a gymnast. He's handy on horizontal bar as well as pommel horse and still rings. Winding up here for a very nice full twisting tucked Kovac, also known as a Coleman. Oh, and you don't see that too often, but that will certainly count as a miss. It just went for an in-bar Stalder, and it's hard to say what really went wrong, but he was quite off on it. The body crunches down, and so he's going to take a pretty big deduction for that skill. Double twisting, double layout dismount, and just seems not quite conditioned enough to get all the way through this routine. It is still quite early in the season, but he did it well in qualification, Balázs Kiss. He had just a 4.6 difficulty score the other day. I wonder if he actually tried to add a bit of difficulty, and that tired him out at some point during the routine. The real fatigue palpable on the dismount. Unfortunate for Kiss. The Stalder is clean. The in-bar, he just totally loses his swing. And then here's the dismount. Good in the air, but not quite enough rotation on the landing. That will be an opportunity for the other competitors. Leading off on floor exercise, representing Switzerland, is Lena Bickel. She's a powerful tumbler. I believe she has a double layout to start with on her opening pass. Isn't that a lovely display from Lena Bickel of Switzerland? You can see what it means to a gymnast to go out in an international competition and just nail a routine. All of the hours of preparation, the conditioning, the training, the endless repetitions go into this moment. And then you are on stage. And she was clearly on stage and right on form throughout this exercise. The double layout, exceptionally good. Lots of attitude and playfulness in the choreography. The second pass, 2.5 twist to front layout. And then the double pike just drilled into the floor. The bar has been set in this apparatus final. 11.6, the score for Balázs Kiss of Hungary. A 1.5 down from what he had in the qualification, so he is unlikely to be a factor for the podium here. That opens the door for somebody else, perhaps Demdindorj Etushan of Mongolia. He scored 13.1 in qualifying. That was good enough for 4th place, but we have just seen a major mistake from the man who finished 2nd. So there are possibilities here. Demdindorj doesn't have the most difficulty. We will see other routines in this final that are harder. But in terms of execution, he is up among the very best. There's only one other gymnast who had a higher execution score in qualifying than he did. Let's see what that all adds up to here. Preparing for his first release. It's a layout Kachev. Arms slightly bent as he re-grasps the bar. That will be a small deduction. And there's the classic Kachev. Dismount, a double twisting, double layout, and a stuck landing for Demdindorj Etushan. He has performed in 4 finals here. So he's done a lot of gymnastics over the last several days. This is a nice way for him to end. Whether or not it results in a medal, we're going to have to wait and see. But he has made such a nice impression. And that's so important for gymnastics in his country. The winner of Mongolia's only major international medals in artistic gymnastics. Brilliant dismount. The score is in for Lena Bickel, 13.1. The top qualifier delivers again in the final. Waiting her turn to perform, Nicole Sokolova of Bulgaria. She's been a gymnast since she was 5 years old. This is an apparatus she is accustomed to doing at World Challenge Cups. She's done it in Varna each of the last 3 years. And it seems that she was just a bit preemptive in taking the starting position and has been told by the head judge that they're not quite ready for her yet.
And here we see 13.1. That is for begin, Switzerland. And now let's welcome Nicole Sokolova, Bulgaria.
Nicole Sokolova of Bulgaria on floor exercise. It's a routine with a certain flair. Nicole Sokolova of Bulgaria. Perhaps most interesting in this exercise isn't the tumbling, which is very good, but what sets her apart is the dance elements that she chooses, particularly the Mustafina turn. And that turn came, it's not this one, this is very good as well, but that's with the leg at horizontal. The Mustafina is the leg all the way up above the head. She does a triple spin, and it was just phenomenal. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a gymnast do this any better. Right there. The score for Demdendorj Etushan of Mongolia is 13.0. So he is down just a tenth from qualification, and into the lead he goes. We will have to see if that holds up. Next to compete will be the top performer from qualification. He represents the host nation, and he is still very young. Next, on to the high bar, Alisher Boysarov of Uzbekistan. This is his second time at this World Challenge Cup. He was 6th on horizontal bar last year in his international debut.
Certain points as the score of 10-2 from Mongolia. And let's welcome Alisher Boysarov, Uzbekistan.
The cheers ring out from around the arena. This is one of the gymnasts that they have come to see. Alisher Boysarov of Uzbekistan, the top qualifier on this apparatus. Winding up for his first big release skill. It's a Casina, the first that we've seen. Full twisting double layout over the bar. And there's the Coleman, the same thing in the tucked position. So far he's flying Good one-arm giant variation. There's been a lot of crowd-pleasing work in this exercise. Just the dismount now. Double twisting, double layout. Well done from Boysarov. Just 21 years old, a native of this city, nailing a routine to the delight of his home public. He has the second highest amount of difficulty of any of the competitors in this final, and it comes out through these double back elements over the bar. The first one laid out, the second one done in the tucked position. And then here was the dismount. Very clean, jackknifed, double twisting, double layout. The score for Nicole Sokolova of Bulgaria, 11.95. That puts her behind Lena Bikel for the moment and into second place. Now to Dildora Aripova of Uzbekistan, the woman who won the floor exercise title in Varna in her senior international debut several years ago. What a moment it would be if she were to get a medal here. Dildora Aripova of Uzbekistan, entertaining with her tumbling and her dance on floor exercise. Wasn't that fun to watch? It's been a very eventful few days in the life of Aripova. She began with a double tuck, and then her second pass, 2.5 twist to front layout. Again, an upgrade. Very good dance skills to get her difficulty credit as well. The Cossack turn, and usually she starts with the double pike. Well, today she ended with it. That makes it much, much more difficult. And the dance was so fun and showy. The score for Alisher Boysarov of Uzbekistan is excellent, 13.65. Into first place he goes. And by quite some way, Boysarov currently leading by 6.5 tenths of a point. All of that sets the challenge for Takumi Onoshima of Belgium, third strongest in qualification. This is only the third World Challenge Cup final of his career, and he happens to be the man who qualified in bronze medal position. Let's see what he comes up with here. Very strong. Kachev right into a ginger. It's an eye-catching combination. The crowd liked that. Stalder, in-bar Stalder. And then a full twisting double layout. That is about as good a routine as he could have hoped to deliver here. If he is to have a medal, he knew that he would need to win it on execution. So the aspect of this routine that he will have been most focused on is making sure that everything is as clean and seamless as possible. And he really achieved that. Good high Kachev, right into a lovely ginger, was really the highlight of this exercise. And then a well-flighted full twisting double layout dismount. The score for Dildora Aripova, 12.8. Second place right now for the gymnast from Uzbekistan. To a strong performer on floor exercise. Daria Yasinskaya is a gymnast who really prefers front tumbling. And we should see that in the first and last passes of this routine. Pay close attention to the first one. She should be planning a double front, the only one we'll see here. A jolt of energy straight to the heart from Daria Yasinskaya of Kazakhstan. This appeared to be a much stronger routine than the one that she showed in qualification. She was in 6th place in the qualification, but she had 0.4 of a point in penalties, probably for going out of bounds. But she kept everything within the confines of the carpet today, and it was all really good. The front handspring to double front as promised. The first pass nearly stuck, and she's actually changed around her middle and third passes. She used to do the front handspring to front double twist as her final pass. Today, it was a double tuck. The score for Takumi Onoshima, 13.1. That puts him in 2nd place as we move towards the second part of this high bar final. Alishor Boysarov, the top qualifier, currently leading the way, and then Onoshima, and then Demdin Dorj Etushan in bronze medal position. Here is the warm-up of Anteja Šikić-Kaučić of Croatia, the reigning champion on floor exercise from 2025 here. The score for Daria Yasinskaya, 12.4. And it's the provisional bronze medal for Yasinskaya at this moment. That is an improvement of 6.5 tenths over what she did in qualification, by the way, for Yasinskaya. The final competitor on floor will be Soliha Tursunboyeva of Uzbekistan. She was third strongest, so in the qualification, and there may be a medal in the offing once more. Leading the way right now on women's floor exercise, Lena Bikel of Switzerland. In second place, Dildora Aripova and Daria Yasinskaya in third. We will begin the second half of this floor exercise final with Lilja Gunnarsdottir of Iceland, who is already in position. After her will come Mila Perpic of Croatia, followed by her teammate, gold medalist from this event in 2025, Anteja Šikić-Kaučić, and then Soliha Tursunboyeva to close things out. For Lilja Gunnarsdottir, this is a very good piece of equipment. Gunnarsdottir competed on floor exercise at the Cairo World Cup this year and also at the Paris World Challenge Cup last year. She's a very well-traveled young woman, still just 17 years old. And she's been in a final on floor exercise as well at the World Challenge Cup level, that from Varna last year. She's still building up her difficulty on floor exercise. And every time we see her in international competition, she has looked a little better, a little more polished. Somebody who's growing into her gymnastics and to all of the travel and the pressure and the workouts and the conditioning that comes with gymnastics at this level.
So, ladies and gentlemen, warm-up time for floor exercises has come to an end. And we are ready to welcome...
Next onto the floor, Lilja Gunnarsdottir of Iceland, seventh strongest in qualification. It's a real piece of theater This floor exercise from Lilja Gunnarsdottir of Iceland. It's only about 90 seconds long, but you come out of it feeling like you have just watched a 3-act play. One thing she does so well is to convey characters. And she does it not just through the choreography, but in her facial expressions as well. The tumbling is well delivered, but it's not what you remember from this floor routine. What you remember is the way that she moves, the expressions that she had. There's joy, there's sorrow, there's a bit of zaniness, and there's this lovely dramatic ending. Bang. Impression made. And a young gymnast waiting to make an impression as we have a look at Dildora Aripova, who is awaiting to see what her final placement on floor will be. I was speaking about him, Ahmad Salama of Jordan, the 6th strongest qualifier on horizontal bar, who should be the next to perform. And on floor exercise, we will next hear from Mila Perpic, who we've already seen in a pair of apparatus finals here in Tashkent. The score for Lilja Gunnarsdottir, 11.85. Particularly good execution, amongst the highest in this field.
So, ladies and gentlemen, now we want to start horizontal bar routines.
To Ahmad Salama of Jordan, 21 years old, a high bar specialist. This is the only apparatus that he competes. He was 6th here at the Pharaohs Cup last year in Egypt. And he's finished 13th twice on the World Cup circuit. So already he is heading for a career performance just by being in this final. And the question is, can he capitalize and get himself onto the podium? It's a difficult opening, missing the Takemoto and actually coming down. This is a skill that has to be timed just so. And if you shoot your feet towards the ceiling too early, you pick up an arch in your back and you don't go over the bar in the right way. And that's what happened to him. But let's not forget, he is still quite young, unseasoned in this kind of international competition. And there's only one way to gain this kind of exposure. Nicely done, the Coleman. And there, the tucked Kovac. Layout Katja. Katja. 4 very difficult releases in this exercise. And a double twisting, double layout. It's not had the execution that he has needed to have a big score, but the components of a really good routine are all there. He just needs time. Let's have another look at the interior. This is where it went wrong in the beginning. He really needed to keep his legs together and again, just be a little more patient with the skill. But the big releases, all there. We move back to a floor exercise, and Mila Perpic of Croatia. Her gym in Rijeka doesn't actually even have a full floor exercise surface. We'll see what that does for her to be performing on one now. Mila Prpic of Croatia performing to the American alt-rock band Evanescence. It was a difficult routine for her in a couple of places. She really struggled to keep her first pass in bounds, and then of course under-rotated on her double pike at the beginning. This is the middle pass, a very clean double twist. And then here was the final one. Not quite enough juice today to get through it, but again, endurance might be a factor. She's done a lot of gymnastics here. 11.0 the score for Ahmad Salamat of Jordan. We turn now to the bronze medalist on pommel horse, DS Toishibek, who also appeared on parallel bars about an hour ago. He's got a very difficult routine. And if he does it well, he might find himself up on the podium. First, though, he's got to get through all of these elements. The first big one coming up here. It's a casina. There are some form breaks associated with this. The Coleman is much better. And this is known as a Czech giant. Always entertains the crowd. The dismount is a good one. Double twisting, double layout, and that is a hit for DS Toishibek. He actually has the highest start value difficulty score of anybody on this apparatus, but he gives away valuable tenths when it comes to the form on his release skills, particularly the first one. You saw the bent legs, the legs coming apart, all of that on the casina, and it takes away from his difficulty somewhat, and it's going to cost him some points. But that said, you always have to make a judgment between difficulty and execution. He's emphasized the difficulty. We'll see if it pays off. For Mila Prpic, the score is 10.75. And that is because of the fall on her final tumbling pass, quite a bit down from what it was in qualification. Lena Bikel retains the lead. To the defending champion from Tashkent 2025. Performing to music from La La Land, here is Croatia's Anteja Šikić-Kaušić. Let's put aside for just a moment the final moments of this exercise and acknowledge the fact that on floor, Antea Šikić-Kaučić is a true performer. Such an unusual composition to this routine. Before she even tumbles, she actually moves all the way down the diagonal. That's very rare on floor exercise. It's just one of the many things that sets this routine apart showmanship-wise. The first two tumbling passes were really good, and then she just hangs on a bit too long to the double tuck at the end and has to do a safety roll backwards out of it. The score for Diaz Toyshibek is a very good one, 13.6. And by just half a tenth, that puts him into the silver medal position. There's an opportunity here for Florian Almanst of Belgium. Just 18 years old. 6 months ago, he was competing at the Junior World Championships. Today, he is a finalist in World Challenge Cup competition. That is how quickly things can change, how rapidly you can ascend in the gymnastics world. He has a shot at a medal here as well. 12.9 put him 5th in qualification. If he stays clean, he could go above that. Slight difficulty on the Takemoto with the full twist. There's the same with the half. That was better. Good open tucked Kovac. In-bar Stalder and classic Stalder. And just a timer element there. Very interesting. And a beautiful double twisting double layout to finish things off. Welcome to the senior level, Florian Almanst. That was very composed, particularly considering that he is just 18. The score now for Antea Šikić-Kaučić, just 10.5 this time. But she too is somebody who's going to be focusing on the European Championships in Croatia, really more oriented towards that. The final performer on floor exercise represents Uzbekistan. Here is third place qualifier Soliha Tursunboyeva with a chance at the podium here. Throughout history, Tashkent has been a place where people come to meet, come to try and make their fortunes. And here we have been introduced to this young gymnast, Soliha Tursunboyeva, 18 years old, from Fergana in the East. She has come here to make an impression, and she has. You may not know her today, but you are likely to see more of her in the future. The score for Florian Olmans of Belgium is 12.5.
From Belgium.
And that currently puts him into 5th place. The final competitor of this Tashkent World Challenge Cup. He'll perform on high bar. He has already won a gold medal today, but he was the 8th strongest into this apparatus final. Work to be done now for Daniel Trifonov of Bulgaria if he is to get onto the podium. Let's see what he comes up with. Liukin, terrific. Kachev in the layout position with a full twist. Well delivered. Good straight Kachev there as well. The classic Kachev. It's through the Takemoto full. There's the second one. We see that from a lot of gymnasts on high bar. Gains them valuable difficulty points. Just the dismount left, tapping in. Double twisting, double layout, and it's a stick! What a routine that was from Daniel Trifonov of Bulgaria. The last man to qualify into this final does that when presented with the opportunity. And that's some well-deserved congratulations for Daniel Trifonov. One of the most exciting young performers on the international circuit right now. He hasn't just been good here in Tashkent. He has shown absolute flashes of brilliance. The first release skill, especially. The dismount, he finds the floor and he doesn't move his feet. The score for Suliha Tursunboyeva is 12.6, and she earns the bronze medal. Silver on this occasion will be for Dildora Aripova, who had 12.8, and it's a second gold medal for Lena Bickel of Switzerland. Gold on bars yesterday, gold on floor exercise today. Uzbekistan second and third on floor. A very happy conclusion to this event for Team Uzbekistan, which has come away from here with a fistful of medals. Just one score still to come in, and we might see something very good from Daniel Trifonov. 13.45 from 8th in qualification. Trifonov goes into the bronze medal position. So a bronze to go with the gold that he won earlier today on vault. That is not bad at all if you are Daniel Trifonov. The final standings on floor exercise: bronze to Suliha Tursunboyeva of Uzbekistan, silver to Dildora Aripova, and gold to Lena Bickel. What a weekend of gymnastics it has been, particularly for the team from Uzbekistan. There's Dimitrov and Yordan Alexandrov sitting in the stands, taking in the horizontal bar final. Both of them medalists here. And it seems that there is still some question about the high bar standings. But not anymore. The classified results on men's high bar: bronze to Daniel Trifonov of Bulgaria, silver to Dias Toyshabek of Kazakhstan, and gold to Uzbekistan's Alishar Boysarov. So Toyshabek earns silver to go with the bronze that he got on pommel horse yesterday. And for Uzbekistan, it is a second title here in Tashkent. How fitting that it's won by a young gymnast from Tashkent. And there's a pleased as punch Daniel Trifonov, who's going home with 2 medals. In just a few moments, we will bring you the final 2 medal ceremonies from this World Challenge Cup for women's floor exercise and for horizontal bar. We do hope that you will stay tuned for that. There's been so much to take in this second day of apparatus finals. For the younger generation, great experience gained. Many of these gymnasts competing in their very first finals at this level. And we've seen some remarkable performances.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes we shall start our awards ceremony.
Aziz tomoshabinlar, taqdirlash marosimini davom ettiramiz. Marhamat, sovrindorlarni kutib oling.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we start our award ceremony and let's welcome the medalists.
It is now time for the medal ceremony for horizontal bar at this World Challenge Cup in Tashkent. This gold medal taken by a gymnast of the host nation, a rising star. 21-year-old Alishar Boysarov scored 13.65, the top qualifier, prevailing in a final that, in other places, was not devoid of surprises. He is a man who has great timing. The bronze medal to the 8th strongest in qualification, Daniel Trifonov. Silver taken by the veteran performer from Kazakhstan, Dias Toyshabek, a bronze medalist yesterday, silver medalist today. And the gold medal is presented to Alishar Boysarov of Uzbekistan, a true specialist on this apparatus. He really showed what he's capable of here.
Show your respect for the national anthem of Uzbekistan.
The horizontal bar podium here in Tashkent. Congratulations once more to the champion, Alishar Boysarov of Uzbekistan. This is the award ceremony on women's floor exercise here at the World Challenge Cup in Tashkent. Silver and bronze today for Uzbekistan, but the title taken by Lena Bikel of Switzerland. The bronze medal today to Suliha Tursunboyeva of Uzbekistan. Silver to her teammate, Dildora Aripova of Uzbekistan. And the gold to Lena Bikel of Switzerland. The 21-year-old from St. Gallen triumphs again for the second time at this event, having won uneven bars yesterday. She delivered quite the routine to begin the women's floor exercise final, and nobody was able to top her. Great entertainment provided by all 8 of the competitors in this final, however. But there is your champion.
Switzerland.
exercise podium at the Tashkent World Challenge Cup. The gold medal won by Switzerland's Lena Bickel. Silver and bronze taken by Uzbekistan. And with that, our coverage of this Artistic Gymnastics World Challenge Cup, the second in a series that will extend into the autumn and right up to the World Championships in Rotterdam, draws to a close. It's been an amazing weekend of gymnastics. 2 titles for the host nation coming on still rings and horizontal bar. 2 golds for the Swiss sensation Lena Bickel, and a wonderful reminder of the prowess of Jordan Alexandrov of Bulgaria on parallel bars in particular. We've also seen the youth of 2 continents pushing forward, perhaps best showcased by Evelina Yezheva of Kazakhstan, who burst forth to win the title on balance beam. Thank you so much for your company, wherever in the world you happen to be watching from, and we'll see you again at the next one. So long.